She's so beautiful.
This is easily my favorite recipe I've done. Oh, hello there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my apartment. We are back to doing our cool vegan taste test videos. It's gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna look a little bit different. We're gonna just make it work, okay? We're gonna make magic happen. Since I figure, you know, we're all feeling a little weird, maybe some of us are feeling a little stressed out, it would be great to make some kind of a cheeky little treat that is gonna make your frown turn upside down. And that can only mean one thing: brownies! And you know what we're making them with? We're making them with avocados. I'm also gonna have to break and pause and film myself and film the food. This was the only table I have, so that's why I'm so awkwardly far above it. You know, we're rolling with the punches. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put 2 avocados into our blender. That should equate to about 1 cup of avocado flesh. I'm realizing that you guys can see my camera. Well, if it wasn't clear enough that this is a one-woman show, you're really getting a behind-the-scenes look now, huh? I wasn't kidding when I said this is an indulgent recipe, okay? Don't come at me about how much maple syrup I'm about to use, because we're gonna do the damn thing. 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup. Yep, that'll do it. That'll give you the zip you need. You know, this is why some people are like, just because you're vegan doesn't mean you're healthy. And you know what? You're totally right. Everything in moderation across the board. We're gonna go ahead and add raw sugar as well. A little bit of vanilla extract. I love the smell of vanilla extract. All right, we're gonna take it over to the blending station. Oh yeah, look at that. You've never seen a texture color combination like that before. Now it looks like baby food. All right, so let's transfer this into this large bowl. Bowls this big just make me happy. There's just so much opportunity here. It really is the little things in life. Ooh, yeah, that is a trippy consistency. Ugh. The reason avocado works for this is because avocado is a nice, healthy, natural fat. I know flour can be tricky to find right now. One thing you can try is to see if restaurants are selling any excess pantry goods they have. It's also a really great way to support small businesses right now. I'm gonna take this time to put on my oven to preheat. It should be at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 180 degrees Celsius. See, I know that from memory now. I can't find my tablespoon, and we wanna use 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder. So I'm gonna get, what's the word? Scrappy. And I'm gonna use my teaspoon. 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. So 18 teaspoons of cocoa powder. Definitely will fast forward through this part for you. It could always be worse, couldn't it? Today we're making brownies. What is there to be upset about? So we're gonna sift in our cocoa powder. I always feel like I should have like nice piano music whenever I sift things. Okay, then we're gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. Is the camera in the shot? Of course it is. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Huh? The oven's ready. That means we're gonna eat, we're gonna eat, we're gonna eat. And then lastly, we're gonna do just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt for flavor. Now, let me rinse this off and dry it off. I'm going to use my just to dry this, cause this is my kitchen and my room. Now let's sift this all together. Oh, wow, that's something. The green just, you never get used to it. Ooh, that's starting to look like brownie batter. So we want to mix this up until there are no more dry spots. Tell me that doesn't look so good. If I could turn back time, I wouldn't say it looked gross. Okay. Now we get to add in our chocolate chips, add in our chocolate chips, add in our chocolate chips. Hey, hey, hey. It's really a different experience with me at home, huh? Okay, so we're not gonna pour in all of our chocolate chips. We're gonna pour in about 3/4 of our chocolate chips. We're gonna save the last 1/4 to place over top our batter before we pop it in the oven. Okay, so now we are going to put our brownie mixture into a prepared baking pan. All right, let's transfer our batter over here. I know the next step is normally to lick out the entire bowl of brownie batter, but I don't want to spoil the surprise of how it tastes. So I'm gonna set that aside and wait until it bakes before I do that. Okay, I couldn't wait. It tastes incredible. And the best part, since there are no eggs in here, I don't have to worry about getting salmonella, because all that's in here is all kinds of sugar and avocado. All right, let's spread this out. Ooh. Okay, so now I'm gonna pop this in the oven for about 20 to 22 minutes, or until I can put a little toothpick in there and it comes out clean. So we make sure it's cooked all the way through. All right, guys, it's the moment of truth. So let me just cut these quickly. All right, so I'm gonna use my fork, lift one of these puppies out. Oh,
She's so beautiful.
you're so pretty. Oh, it's perfect. The texture is perfect. It's like, it looks like a normal brownie. It looks like it's like cooked all the way through, which is important, but also it's nice and fudgy. So that the chocolate chips that are mixed in there melted and they have these little fudgy pockets. It smells divine. So I really don't want to waste any more time. I think the professional thing to do is just to go ahead and try it, right? Right. Hold the phone. What are you? Oh my God, so good. It's perfect. It's like, it's got like a light texture to it too. It just feels like there is no freaking way anybody would taste this and be like, what did you do here? There must be some kind of fruit that everyone thinks is a vegetable in here. No, there's no taste of avocado whatsoever. It is delectable. And I'm not like a big sweets desserts person either. This could freaking turn me. I'm going to go and get the one person who I've been social distancing with, and that's Aria. Let's see what Aria thinks. Okay, you can come out.
What am I doing at her place?
Are you in your underwear?
Yeah. My underwear was off in bed, so I mean, let's just be happy you're on it all. I'm very excited about this. This is vegan.
Yes, this is vegan.
The real perk here is that there's no other animals, none of our other guests are here to waste the food. All these brownies are mine.
Oh, you mean the coworkers?
Yes.
Okay, handsome.
Okay, here we go. Oh, sure it is. This is by far the best thing you've given me on this show.
You say that every week.
I say it
you
often.
say that every week.
I say it often. I say it often. It's the truth each time I say it. And this time I really mean it. I top the other ones just because I have such a sweet tooth. And this is... It's just so... The moistness is really what's getting me. I honestly don't think I've had brownie this moist before.
But it's not like gummy, right?
It's not gummy at all. Moist in a good way. And honestly, I can't even begin to fathom what wizardry was cast upon this.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
I like you. I am tasting hints of, I want to say, like some sort of, maybe there's like a something, you're getting like there's like that little sweet flavoring that's coming through, but not really sweet. It's kind of like a soft, little delicate little kiss.
A flavor's coming through, huh?
A flavor's coming through. I'm gonna guess beets.
Beets?
Beets.
No.
Because beets have that sweetness.
It's avocado.
Let me guess more. It's avocado?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's what it is. The fats that are coming through. No, okay. Compared to other stuff you made me in the past, 12 out of 10. The best thing you've made. Hands down. Hands down.
Thank you.
Comparatively to a brownie, I would give it, like I said, I would say I would give it a solid 8.82. Ladies and gentlemen, taking it from the man in his underwear, this was a treat. This was a treat.
Thank you.
This was a treat.
Thank you, sweet man.
I want another brownie, please.
Yeah, we
have one, please.
We have it.
Please. I want another brownie.
Great.
I'm gonna get the big one in the middle.
Oh, I have to take beauty shots of those. That's okay. You can have it. Yeah. Wait, but I do want to take a beauty shot of it.
Can I have one soon?
Yeah.
I really want one.
Oh, I need to take pictures of it.
Okay, but I can have it clean.
This looks really meaty, but is this gonna fool someone into thinking it's steak? I'm conflicted. Hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl Merle, and today we are back with another fun vegan substitute. Today we are going to be making vegan steak out of wheat. Technically, it's vital wheat gluten. This recipe has been floating around the internet for a long time now. And in fact, this idea was inspired by many, many other videos where people have tried to perfect the perfect vegan steak. I'm gonna be totally upfront with you guys. I am considerably skeptical about this one, but I would love to be proven wrong. Let's do it. Basically what we're doing here is making a seitan or seitan. You could say it either way. I think as long as you don't call it Satan, we're good. Seitan is not a new thing. It was originated centuries ago by vegetarian monks, and it was commonly found in China and Japan as a pretty popular meat substitute. It's what's gonna make our steak hopefully meaty. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by adding some veggie stock, a half a cup of white beans. I'm using some Great Northern beans. I've seen people use chickpeas too. 1 tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce. We're gonna do 2 healthy tablespoons of some nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I think it's important to have a sense of humor when you're making vegan versions of meat. I see a lot of people say, why would you call that steak? It's not steak. I get it, I know. A lot of the people that are either vegetarian or vegan still miss some of those old flavors that we were raised with, and so it's a nice way to be reminiscent of the old days. So this is vegan Worcestershire sauce. I didn't see as much of this in other recipes. I'm adding this because it's what I would sometimes eat with my steak. Could backfire miserably, but we'll see. I've never made this, so we're all in this together. I've got a nice little combination of spices here. We've got some smoked paprika, some garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. So I'm adding a little bit of Dijon mustard. And another thing I'm adding that is optional is a little bit of this Better Than Beef bouillon. And then finally, liquid smoke. Super potent, only need a little bit, 1 little drop, and it's like exploding with flavor. So don't overdo it with the liquid smoke, you will regret it. Before we add our vital wheat gluten, we're gonna blend this together into a nice smooth paste. Let's see what we got. Ooh, wow. It's definitely a powerful, powerful smell. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, oh my God, this is gonna be so overly flavored. So it's okay if it feels a little intense because it's all gonna come together once we add in the vital wheat gluten. Okay, so now we're gonna get our mixture into this bowl. As you can see, it's pretty liquidy, which is good. The true test of this recipe would be my grandfather. He used to get me steak every Sunday when I would come over. Since I'm sort of culminating a bunch of different vegan steak recipes that I've found online, I'm gonna be really careful with the amount of vital wheat gluten I put in because there's no going back. So I'm gonna start with a little under 1 cup and slowly add in at a time. All right, she's already getting a little bit more meaty. If you don't look at vegan food as the worst version of the original thing and instead think about how creative you can get, it's just fun. All right, I'm gonna go in there with my hands now. Make sure I get all of that vital wheat gluten in there. Wow, look at this. It's already like a meaty thing. The one thing I've seen across the board is that people knead this pretty heavily for about 3 to 4 minutes. That's what's gonna help the vital wheat gluten activate and firm up. Look at that. That looks pretty damn cool. I'm really excited actually. This formed together really nicely. So now what I'm gonna do is chop this in half and roll it out a little bit. Wow, the inside of it looks good too. So I'm just gonna form this into a sort of like an oblong shape with my hands. Pretty easily moldable. I'm just gonna roll it out a little bit with my rolling pin. All right. I expected it not to hold its shape as well as it has. Shame on me for doubting the process. There's one. Let's do the same with the other. All right, so now that we've got our patties formed, I let them rest for about 15 to 20 minutes. I've heard that's good for the texture, so I figured it couldn't hurt. Now what we're gonna do is wrap them in a little bit of parchment paper, and then we're gonna steam them for about 45 minutes. And while these are steaming, we're gonna go ahead and make our marinade. For the marinade, we're gonna start with 1 tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of low sodium vegetable stock. Then we're gonna do about 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of the vegan Worcestershire sauce, 1/2 tablespoon of maple syrup. I'm gonna add a little bit more smoked paprika, some Dijon mustard, and finally, another little drop of the very potent liquid smoke. I'll mix that up. So now I'm gonna set my marinade aside while the steaks are steaming, and then we'll move on. Wow, Wow, this already looks considerably firmer. Definitely headed in the right direction. Look at that, it looks awesome. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pour a little bit of my marinade in the bottom, put one steak in there, then I'm gonna cover that a little bit with marinade. And then I'm gonna put the last one on top. I'm gonna cover that with the rest of the marinade. I'm gonna cover these up. So they're gonna marinate 30 minutes on one side, and then I'm gonna flip them over, so make sure that they get equally covered, and then we're gonna marinate them for an additional 30 minutes. All right, so our steaks are done marinating. Now it's time to cook these. So we're gonna start with this sort of grill. I'm only gonna cook this for about 2-3 minutes on either side. All right, I'm gonna try to flip this. Ooh, yeah, cool. Okay, so it's all grilled up, and now it's time for me to take a bite of this masterpiece. It looks like a steak. It's got the bounce of a steak, but also the resistance. It's definitely well done. We got a lot to process here. What I will say about it though, is the flavors come together really nicely. Is this gonna fool someone into thinking it's steak? Oh no, no. The likeness to steak is about a 4, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it isn't actually steak. If I gave this to my grandfather, he would ask me if this was made out of the packaging that I got a steak in. It has a delicious flavor to it. It just doesn't exactly replicate meat. Am I happy with it? Would I eat it again? I'm conflicted. I'm gonna have Rachel come in here and try this. Rachel Gajewski, everyone. Back by popular demand.
So lovely to see you in my home.
Yes, so I'm sure you have no idea what I've been cooking up today.
No, none at all.
Okay, she knows what I cooked, but she doesn't know what it tastes like. I'm gonna have you go ahead and assess this vegan steak.
Ooh, it's really pretty though. Like, you even put the little grill lines on it. Okay.
I try to give the people what they want.
Oh my gosh, this looks like one of those microwave TV dinner steaks.
It does, it looks like a Salisbury steak.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Salisbury. Okay, I'm gonna give it a sniff first.
It's not like a tomahawk ribeye steak. The notes are hitting you?
Yes.
Great.
It looks like dog food, but hey.
She says it how it is.
Okay. It definitely doesn't taste like a steak.
No, I agree
But
with that.
it's very chewy and meaty and hearty, and I wanna douse this thing in gravy and put it on some mashed potatoes.
Yeah, of all the imitation meats, it doesn't totally hit steak as much for me, but it's imitating something. You can tell it's an imposter.
How I like it overall, just as its own entity, 6.5.
I feel like that's fair. I feel like if you're looking for a good meat substitute, this is probably a great starting point for you. First time making vegan steak, what a wild ride. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to substitute or any wacky ingredients that I should use as a vegan substitute in the future.
I'm still here.
She's still here!
I will say the entire place smells like beans, so I'm assuming beans are involved. Or you've just been farting up a storm in here.
No! Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to my apartment. We are, of course, still working from home right now, so this will be yet another episode of Doing Our Best. I'm really excited because today we're gonna be doing a recipe that I think's a little weird. I know, go figure, on the show something's weird. So today what we're gonna be making is edible chocolate chip cookie dough with chickpeas. Yay. This is something I've seen floating around the internet, and it's something I've always wanted to try because chickpeas are filled with protein and other good stuff. All right, so without further ado, let's dig into this recipe. Let's talk chickpeas now. Let's call this Chickpea Talking Corner. Chickpeas come in 2 ways. You can get them pre-cooked, canned, or boxed, or you can get them dried. If you have dried chickpeas, okay, cool. Take your chickpeas, put them in a pot, cover them with water, and boil them for about 5 minutes, and then let them soak for about an hour. If you're using canned chickpeas, cover them with water and put about 2 teaspoons of lemon juice in there and let that sit for about 10 to 20 minutes. This should help to pull the canned bean juice flavor out of there. The first thing we want to do is peel these skins off. It's really easy to do. It's not as tedious as it may sound. The skins usually just pop right off. Skins usually just pop right off. It actually reminds me of when I was in elementary school and I used to put glue all over my hands and let it dry and then peel the glue off. So if you can like think of it like that, it's really fun. When I said it wasn't too tedious, maybe that was being generous. It takes a little while, but you know, again, think of the glue thing and it's totally fun. It's even relaxing. I'm gonna dump these out here.
It's really easy to do. Just pop right off.
This is gonna take a while. This is gonna take a little while.
It's totally fun. It's even relaxing.
That's okay, we got time, right? We got nothing but time.
It's really fun.
I feel like there has to be an easier way. I'm gonna try to shake a few of them up, see if that works. Like garlic peels, you can usually shake them and they loosen. That didn't do anything. I'm gonna see if I can find any tips to do this in bulk a lot faster than this. Be right back. So what we wanna do is just cover them with a towel and just slowly massage them and give them a good rub down. All right, let's see. Yeah, nice. These look great. So now some of the skins are just loose in here. You can just toss those away. Most of them, if the skins haven't come off completely, they're very loose on the chickpea, so you can just finish the job. Okay, that took a long time. I thought that was going to be faster, but that's okay. And now what I'm gonna do is add chickpeas, 2 teaspoons of coconut oil, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and I'm gonna blend that up. All right, now we're gonna add almost all of our other ingredients except for the chocolate chips, and then we're gonna blend that up too. Add some dark brown sugar and some granulated sugar, almond meal or almond flour, baking soda, vanilla extract, and we're gonna blend that up. Check that out. She's looking pretty promising. It really has the texture of cookie dough. It's not like grainy or anything like that. It's very smooth. Finally, what we're gonna do, the moment you've all been waiting for, is we're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. Cause if we're gonna do cookie dough, let's do chocolate chip cookie dough. Let's mix that up. We just wanna fold these chocolate chips into our cookie dough. Do you believe in chickpea dough? I feel like she just has to come out. All right, we're all done. So now I'm gonna cover this up and I'm going to put it in the fridge for about an hour. You can also put it in the freezer for like 30 minutes if you want to. I'm just gonna put it in the fridge. Be back soon. Okay, so the cookie dough has been in the fridge for an hour and apparently in that hour it got dark. So, again, doing our best. Okay, let's try this thing. It looks like cookie dough. I'm feeling a lot of things. It doesn't taste like cookie dough. It tastes like healthy-ish junk food. It looks like cookie dough, but it doesn't taste just like it, but it tastes good. If you're looking for something that's a good source of protein and can kind of hit the sweet notes for you, tickle your sweet tooth, this is a good option, but I have no clue what Arya is gonna think of this. He doesn't like beans. I'm a little nervous. This one's a thinker. I mean, I can't stop eating it. Let's let him try this. I'm super intrigued to see what he thinks. All right, come on in.
Tall and thin and young and handsome, the boy from Ipanema goes. You're cute. Oh, you're a beautiful woman.
Well, see if you still think that after I give this to you. Ta-da!
Oh my god.
Cookie dough.
2 treats in a row. You keep plying me with sweets. It smells like cookie dough. I will say the entire place smells like beans. So the entire kitchen smells like, so I'm assuming beans are involved. Or you've just been farting up a storm in here.
No!
But someone loves to toot.
No, I do
loves to
not.
But we love her. I love her still. Okay. But that said, apart from the smell of beans that's pervading the area, the smells like cookie dough. Come with me and you'll... Willy Wonka.
Okay.
Okay. At first it tasted just like cookie dough, but then that kind of bean flavor, that earthy, whatever, I don't know what the ingredient is, but whatever it is, it came through in the
Ingredient is beans.
It's just beans?
Chickpeas.
Chickpeas! Protein, that's good. That makes me feel better about this. I love a good hummus, because I think maybe in my mind, because I knew that beans were involved, that was tasting it because at first, I don't taste it, then there it comes. Well, it's not bad though. The texture is also like cookie dough. The texture is spot on. So that's what gives it a nice rating. It's not bad. I would give this a nice solid, I'm trying to think how you say 7.3 in Portuguese. 7.3. I don't think that's it at all. I made up a language.
Did you make that up?
Yeah, I definitely did. 7.3 out of 10. I'm trying to be healthier, so if I were going to indulge in something unhealthy, I prefer something like the brownies.
Yeah.
The vegan brownies you made. Separate video. All this other stuff you've given, I would eat again, because most of them taste good, except for watermelon.
Thank you, sweet man.
I've been to cities that never close down, from New York to Rio and old London town. This is raw! You're trying to kill someone! That's what Gordon Ramsay does.
No! Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my kitchen and welcome back to another vegan adventure. Today, we are going to be making something super special for me because I am a New England girl born and raised in Massachusetts. We're gonna be recreating something I loved to eat with my grandfather all the time growing up, scallops with king oyster mushrooms. Some of you are thinking, yay, scallops, that's so cool, Merle, what can't you do? God, you are such a wizard. Some of you may be thinking, scallops? They're called scallops. I was raised to call them scallops. I really don't care, you can call it whatever you want. This is a king oyster mushroom, you remember this little devil dog? I used these when I made my vegan baby back ribs. Super, super, super helpful when it comes to vegan cooking because of the texture of the stem. Anyway, we're gonna start by taking the caps off. We wanna go for larger oyster mushrooms if we can help it. If you can't find larger oyster mushrooms, no problem. You can use the small ones too, you're just gonna want more of them. They'll just be baby scallops. Now what we wanna do is we wanna take our stems and we're gonna slice them into about 1-inch thick slices. Now we're gonna make our marinade. I'm using a glass Tupperware container with a lid. I would suggest you do the same because you're gonna wanna cover this when it's done. And I highly recommend using glass Tupperware because plastic Tupperware, A, is not as good for the environment, and B, will end up taking on the flavors and smells of any marinade or whatever you put inside of them. So it's just better for the environment, better for you. These last you longer. It's a worthy investment. No, I was not sponsored by any glass Tupperware companies. It's just what I truly, truly believe deep down in my heart. Hold on a minute, we have an intruder. No, now you gotta say hello. Oh my God. What kind of sound was that? You sounded like a screechy tire, little Genevieve. Can you guess what this is? Yes, you're right. And you're gonna crush it up into these little pieces. I love nori sheets because they add a really delicious seafoody, fishy flavor that you obviously don't get from a mushroom. For the entire recipe, you're gonna use 1 nori sheet, but for this part, you're only using half of it. So keep the other half handy. We will be using it later. So right now we're gonna use 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm gonna put this in my compost bag. Don't forget to compost. Take you little pesky seeds out of here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the zest from 1 lemon, which is really just the skin on the outside. All right, we got our zest in there. 1 heaping tablespoon of miso paste for a yummy umami flavor. I love me some miso. 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar. Lastly, a 1/4 cup of a neutral oil, so like a canola or a vegetable oil. And then we're just gonna whisk all that together. I'm gonna put my hair up. Do I look like a genie? You know, I really don't know. Now it's time to move our act over to the stove. We're going to combine 4 cups of water into a medium-large saucepan and then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, my second half of my sheet of nori. We're gonna just break it up into small little pieces. 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of a low-sodium soy sauce, and then we're gonna bring this to a simmer. So we just wanna make sure we stir all of this together so that we dissolve our sugar and salt. All things considered, this is a pretty easy breezy recipe, right? Like this is pretty straightforward. I like that. One reason I think it's fantastic to try to replace some of your seafood dishes with vegan or plant-based options is because fishing equipment is actually a huge polluter of our oceans. Fishermen lose nets, they accidentally catch dolphins and whales and other bycatch. It's just something that ultimately is having a very negative effect on our planet. Not telling you to never eat seafood. I wouldn't dream of it. I want to be liked too much. Also, it's not really my business to tell people what they should eat and what they shouldn't eat. What I can do is recommend you a nice little swapperoo that's gonna be just as good and no one has to die. Well, the mushroom does. Oh God, now there's gonna be like a mushroom organization after me. I always was a big seafood eater. I told you, I'm from the East Coast. We love a lobster, we love a chowder. None of my family talks like that. Smells seaweedy. She's coming to a nice little simmer, so I'm gonna go ahead and add our adorable little scallops, big and small, into the water. You will notice they are going to float. That's okay. We can just periodically submerge them again to make sure they're getting a nice little cook through. And we're gonna let these cook for about 4 to 6 minutes or until they are soft. These are looking about ready to go. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a slotted spoon. I'm gonna transfer these little bad boys over to my marinade. The little boy is trying to escape me. Get back here. Nice work, team. Now we play the waiting game. I'm gonna pop a lid on these and I'm gonna let these refrigerate for about 2 to 4 hours, whatever you can spare. And then we're gonna take them back out. So I guess I'll go like learn another language or finish a book or, oh, maybe I should go try to find a Nintendo Switch. I've been trying to buy one of those online for God knows how long now. The first thing we're gonna do with these is to take them out and pat them dry with a towel. Right now I've got a pot of water boiling. I'm gonna make some linguine to serve these with. Okay, and once those are patted dry, you can take a little sharp paring knife or just a smaller knife and make little cross hatch marks in each one. This will test your patience, because then once in a while you accidentally cut through them and that's just heartbreaking. Don't let your heart be broken. It's not worth it, and they're still gonna taste delicious. It's gonna be okay. And once we've got these done, I'm gonna go ahead and take my saucepan and I'm gonna put it to a medium-high heat, and I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of my neutral oil. You'll know it's ready when the oil starts to shimmer, and we're gonna do about 2 to 3 minutes on each side of the scallop until it's about golden brown and crispy and delicious, and then we can flip them over. The importance of the crosshatch is more important to me now than ever. It's so that the heat evenly distributes across the little scallop so that it doesn't end up just being burnt in a big circle, so that actually the heat goes throughout the entire thing. Let's get our linguine going. We're going to add in some vegan butter just for the last bit of it, and you're just gonna let that kind of spread itself out evenly throughout them until it's nice and fragrant and mixed in and warmed up. And then we get to eat. It's like 4:30 right now. It wouldn't be the worst thing if I had some wine. White wine with this would be delicious. I'm just gonna let them cool down a little bit, and then nothing left to do but eat. Someone's gotta do it. It's gonna be me. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to try these cute little things. Look at them. I mean, they've got the nice little bounce to them. They've got the beautiful sear. They look gorgeous and adorable, and they smell really good. Just kidding. Oh my God! Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that tastes damn good. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's bring Arya in here and see what he thinks.
Oops. I'm trying to find more creative entrances. Yum, yum, yum.
How does it smell? Better than last time?
It smells much better than last time. I will say the entire place smells like beans. The entire kitchen is full of it. So I'm assuming beans are involved, or you've just been farting up a storm in here.
No!
I'm smelling a lot of lemon. Is that the secret ingredient?
No. Ready?
Yes. Ah! Wow. Okay, so scallop is what you're trying to imitate, I'm assuming.
Yes, and you say scallop too, not scallop.
Yes, I love, well, I imagine Gordon Ramsay, you know. Where's a scallop? That's a very bad impression of him.
Do it really instill the fear.
This is raw! You're trying to kill someone! That's what Gordon Ramsay does.
No! Whatever.
Yes.
Try the food.
Okay, here we are. I love pasta. I'm pretending I'm on the Italian coast. I'm on the Amalfi coast. Just having a little bit of pasta. Oh, fresh scallops from the sea. Okay.
Why?
I have my judgment. Does it look like a scallop? Yes. Does the texture break apart like a scallop? Yes. Now, when I bite into it, is the texture like a scallop? No.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's a mushroom.
Yeah, it's a mushroom.
Oyster mushroom.
It's a king oyster mushroom.
Does it taste like a scallop? No, because it has more flavoring. Is it better than a scallop? Yes. Yes, this tastes, there's so much more flavor in this. Very good. And The pasta is cooked to al dente perfection.
That's right, a little under what they recommend.
I
only got to have one.
Scallop. Scallop.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl Merle, and today we're gonna be trying 6 different egg substitutes for all your baking needs. I was inspired by an article I saw on The Kitchen. In this article, they tested like 8 different substitutes using one muffin recipe, and they gave a review for each one. I'm only gonna be testing 6 of them today because there's only one of me and it feels like a waste of muffins, but also because chia and flax eggs are kind of similar. Arrowroot, just don't feel like it. So I picked the ones that were the most interesting to me, and those are the ones we're gonna do today. Let's get started. So the Kitchen article used a basic muffin recipe that they developed themselves, but the muffin recipe wasn't vegan, so I'm gonna go ahead and use a yellow cake mix that just happens to be vegan, because not only do I want the whole muffin to be vegan, but I also want to make sure that the variables are the same in every single substitute. And I felt like cake mix was the easiest way to make sure it's all even. 1/2 cup of oil, and let's do the mashed banana. So I took a cake batter and I'm just dividing it into thirds. The consistency looks pretty much like any cake mix would. Let's add our water. Now I divided the cake mix because I didn't want to make so many muffins that, oh my god, I'm so dumb. It should be 1/3 of a cup, not a full cup. So we got our cake mix, 1/2 cup of oil. Wait a minute, I need to divide the oil too. So what's 1/3 of 1/2 cup of oil? I'm gonna go ahead and put in the cake mix and some oil. Then I'm gonna add in my aquafaba and some water. And then I'm gonna mix that up. The consistency is looking good. It looks great, actually. Okay, so now I'm just gonna spread these out into the muffin tin. And voila! The last one's always a little bit measly, but you know what? That's okay. A muffin is 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 a muffin. Let's do the carbonated water. This carbonated water one is the one I'm the most skeptical about because it's just carbonated water. I'm like, is it really that easy? That I've been like trying to find all these different egg substitutes when I could just use sparkling water. I'll believe it when I taste it. So far the batter is reminding me of vegan pancake batter. I can see the little bubbles coming up, so that's a good sign. All right, let's add this to the baking sheet. Oh, that's a big one. It's a looser batter than the other 2. All right, so our first batch is done. I'm gonna pop these in the oven and then we will make the rest of our cupcakes. Okay, so we've got our first batch out of the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside, and then we're gonna put our next 3 in the oven, and then we can check them all out and see what we think. First up, we're gonna do our applesauce. I have never really used applesauce to substitute for an egg before, so this is exciting for me. I've heard great things, but I've never actually tried it myself. All right, a nice smooth consistency. I'm really intrigued by this one. This one is just oil, water, and baking powder. You know, that's what I do for vegan pancakes usually. I could totally see how this would work. All right, let's mix it up. I have a feeling that the carbonated water and the oil, baking powder, water slurry are probably gonna be less aggressive when it comes to affecting the flavor of the cake, whereas the applesauce and the banana probably will imbue a bit of their flavor into the final product. Let's transfer this over to the muffin tin. All right, now we've got our last one. One of the other substitutes that I'm not including in this video is a chia egg, and the results came out pretty similar in the article, so I figured I don't need to be making any more muffins than I'm already making. Mix, 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 mix. Oh wow, okay, this one's got quite the different look because you can see the flax seeds in there. Even though it's flax meal, it's definitely got a different look to it. So to make the flax egg work, all you do is take 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and 3 tablespoons of water, and you mix them together and you just let that sit for about 5 minutes until it thickens. I have to say the batter textures are pretty similar across the board, but this one has got some grit to it. All right, batch number 2 is going into the oven, and then it's time to check all these muffins out. All right, we've got all of our muffins completed. They have cooled off, and you know, I'm really intrigued by this. They all have a little bit of a different look to them, but I think there's no better way to judge this than to just kind of jump right in. I've got my mashed banana. The mashed banana looks the prettiest, I have to say. It's got like a little brown around the edge. Let me try to take this out. Okay, comes out pretty easy. Looks like a pretty little cupcake. Smells like a pretty little cupcake. I think I detect hints of banana in there. This looks great. Okay. Here's the deal. I love banana. Banana's my favorite fruit. So the fact that this has the taste of banana in it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it makes it kind of like a banana bread. I will say it's a little bit gummy. It's a little bit denser than a cupcake normally is. So like if you like banana, this is great. But if you just wanted a vanilla cupcake and you didn't want anyone to know the difference, with banana, I think you're always gonna detect the flavor just a little bit. Like if the gold standard is for it to act as an egg would, which would just be to bind it properly, give it the right texture and not interfere with the flavor, I might actually give the banana one like a 6.5 because although it looks pretty, the flavor of the banana is there and it's kind of hard to miss. For the second one, it's the aquafaba. I'm a little nervous about this one because I don't know about bean juice in a cupcake. I mean, I've made vegan chocolate mousse with aquafaba, but that at least has the chocolate to cover the bean flavor. I'm hoping this doesn't taste really weird. Oh. Well, that's not what you want. I think I'll just put that back down and try another one. Oh my goodness. Okay, these are not holding together at all, deducting a lot of points right off the bat for that. This is not what you want in a cupcake. I can't even hold it the right way. Fortunately, the flavor's pretty good. It doesn't taste at all like bean juice, so that's a plus. But it doesn't bind this together really at all. That was pretty pathetic. I'm gonna have to give this like a 2. Sorry. The texture is a little bit gummy as well. It's just inconsistent throughout and it didn't bind together the cupcake. The flavor's fine, but like, come on. Unless you're making like cake pops, I don't think this is gonna do the trick. Next, the carbonated water. I'm really intrigued about this one. This one just seems too good to be true. Okay, it's holding together much better than the last one did, which is still crazy to me because it's just carbonated water. Oh, it's falling apart a little bit. It's fluffy, but it is falling apart a little bit. The flavor's great. It doesn't interfere with the flavor at all. It's really nice and light. The texture's perfect. It doesn't look like it rose in the way that the other ones did. Let me try another one. This one seems to be more solid. This is great. It's still kind of easy to fall apart, but the flavor's great, the texture's great. Okay, so I'm gonna give the carbonated water a 7 because it does taste fantastic. It's the best flavor so far, the best texture so far, but it does kind of crumble a little bit in your hands. I have to deduct points for that. All right, next up, we've got the applesauce. This one crumbled a little bit, but I'm gonna try it. I'll give another one a try. It just got a little stuck in the pan. I sprayed these like crazy, so I don't know what's going on with that. Those should be very lubricated. I'll try it though. The applesauce didn't bind as well as the banana, but it doesn't impart its flavor as much as the banana does. But I'm not totally impressed with the way that it's not binding this together. So I'm gonna have to give it like a 5. The binding is really important to me. I mean, we're making cupcakes. The best thing about cupcakes is you can carry them and walk around with them, but you can't if they're falling apart like this. The flavor was good, the texture was pretty good. A little bit flaky, but it just didn't hold the cupcake together like I wanted it to. And next up, we have the water, oil, and baking powder mixture. Man, like none of these hold together the way I want them to, which is wild. Oh my, why do these break apart so much? I mean, that just fell apart completely. That was the second best rated one in the article for the kitchen. I think the problem is with cake mix, it doesn't always work to swap in a vegan egg substitute, which is frustrating. Okay, our last one is the flax egg. Okay. Finally, one that doesn't fall apart. That's basically a 10 in my book at this point. With vegan cooking, it's already looking like what's considered the highest ranking and the lowest ranking are almost opposite. Let's try it. I hope this tastes good. Wow. Even though the flax egg looks different, I'm gonna give this a 9 because it binds the cupcake perfectly together. The flavor's fantastic and the texture is like nice and light, but it doesn't seem any different than a normal cupcake would seem. I think the winner for this whole challenge has to be the flax egg. My mind is blown because I really thought that this was gonna be basically the same information from the article to the point where I was almost like, is this stupid? I'm making a video about the same thing. But it turns out it is not the same result when you're doing vegan baking. So what's crazy to me is that the carbonated water and the oil water baking powder mixture were the 2 top ranking substitutes for the kitchen article. But those are probably my 2 lowest ranking substitutes when it comes to vegan baking. I mean, I guess it's good to know that you can't always just pop any old substitute into cake mix or brownie mix. So let me know below if there's anything else you'd like me to test out when it comes to vegan baking, anything you want to debunk, I'm here for you. Let me do it so you don't have to. Oh my gosh! I can't even believe this thing.
One of the best things you've made me.
Hello, what's going on everybody? It's your girl Merle, and today we have another cool vegan substitute. Vice did an article about Noma, the renowned restaurant, where they made shawarma out of celery root. I know, as someone who's a plant-based eater, even I am like, how? But it's Noma. They know what they're doing. I can't not try this. I feel like it's just too cool looking. I mean, it looks the part. The question is always, will it taste anything like what it's supposed to taste like? I guess we'll just have to find out. I've used celery root in the past. I used it to try to make vegan fish and chips. Celery root, or celeriac, looks like a mandrake. So the first thing we need to do with this funky little root is to peel it. And what you might notice here is at the top we've got like what looks like a little celery. So that's kind of cool. I don't think it is celery though. All right, and I'm gonna collect all my little peels and I'm gonna put them in my little compost bowl. You guys might think that I'm crazy for reminding you to do that, but it really can make a difference. And we're gonna use a mandolin to slice it into 1/16 of an inch slices. You know what, I am gonna chop the top off of this. Be very careful when you're doing this. Oh, it's looking good. All right, so these slices are looking fantastic. I'm gonna do this again with 2 more celeriac. We want about a pound, so it'll probably take like 2 or 3. Now that we've got that all sliced up, we're gonna move on to our spice mixture. We're gonna use 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne, 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 4 teaspoons of sweet paprika, cumin, allspice, coriander, dried oregano, turmeric, and finally kosher salt. And now we're just gonna mix it all together. Look at those beautiful colors. All right, so now we're making it rain with our slices and we've got our spice mixture. We're gonna add in some red wine vinegar, canola oil, and 2 healthy tablespoons of our spice mixture. And then we're just gonna mix that all up. Stirring this is not necessarily a field day, but once the oil gets more incorporated through all the slices, it will get easier, so don't worry. And now comes the fun part. Yeah, the fun part, sure. We're going to be taking these slices of celeriac and we're going to be placing them on our spit or our vertical rotisserie. I will include a way that you can do this without a spit or a vertical rotisserie right in the recipe, so don't panic. You don't have to do it dead center every time. It might actually be good if you have some a little to the left and some a little to the right, because that'll help to kind of space it out and also it'll bulk out our shawarma. The more we can get it to look like a hunk of meat, the better. I feel like as soon as I said that, I just could hear people click-clacking away on their keyboard. Why would you want it to look or taste like meat? Well, you know what? I always really liked the taste of meat, and I think it's a fun challenge. I think as long as we are respectful to the cultures or the practices the original dishes come from, in this case, it's shawarma, which is a Middle Eastern cuisine. Also, different countries will use different types of meat. It could be beef, it could be lamb, it could be chicken, it could be goat, depending on the country we're talking about. I point this out because I think it's important when you're doing a vegan interpretation of something, not to just completely wipe out the original dish itself. This could be something fun to do for the holidays. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 carrots, salmon, 11 banana peel pulled pork, 10 mushroom ribs, 9 coconut calamari, 8 lobster mushroom rolls, 7 squash eggs, 6 tomato eggs, we tried it again and it was better, 5 watermelon ham, 4 celeriac fish and chips, 3 avocado brownies, 2 edible bean cookie dough, and a salad back on a spit. I've been doing this for a while now, huh? It never stops being fun, you know? But I am slowly going to run out of ideas, so please let me know if you know of anything else that would be cool. I'm gonna admit, when I look at the B-cam, it looks a little bit like slices of potato getting ready to become potato chips. Doesn't quite look like meat yet. Now this is done, it's time for us to wrap the entire thing in some aluminum foil. Now it's time to bake this. We have the oven set to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 160 degrees Celsius. 163 degrees to be exact. And we're gonna let it go ahead and slow bake in there for about 50 to 60 minutes. In you go. Good luck in there. Good luck. In the meantime, let's make our glaze. Then we're gonna remove the foil from the shawarma and use a brush to baste it all over with our glaze and return it to the oven for 10 minutes. Then we'll take it out, glaze it again, and put it back in for 10 more minutes. Finally, we'll remove it from the oven and increase the temperature to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 220 degrees Celsius, and baste it once more, place it in the oven for 2 to 3 minutes, rotate it, and place it back in for 2 to 3 more minutes, and then it should be all caramelized and beautiful. All right, the moment we have all been waiting for. Oh my gosh! Wow! I can't even believe this thing. It's like completely transformed before our very eyes. Now the only thing left to do is to cut it. I'm scared I'm gonna do it wrong. I'm scared I'm gonna mess this up somehow, but in times of doubt, you just have to go for it. Ah! That looks so cool! Wow. The flavor of celery is still a little bit present. I still know who she is. There's no way in hell anyone would ever mistake this for meat, but I'm really impressed with how the celery root took on those seasonings. The slow roast is definitely key. The texture is not the celery root's strong point, but it's got pizzazz. I love the presentation. I really like the flavor. But now I'm gonna serve it to Arya. He's a meat eater, so he'll be a tougher critic, so I don't know what he's gonna think of this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it with some warm pita bread, hummus, and cucumber salad, and maybe the marriage of all of that will come together and blow his mind. 1, 2, 3.
Ah, a little pita wrap.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is like meant to be shawarma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've been to Turkey and I had some delicious shawarma over there.
Well, it's gonna be better.
It is very pretty. Exciting. Looks very fresh and healthy.
Yeah?
The flavor profile is bang on.
Yeah.
It really is bang on. One of the best things you've made me on their show. The thing is, I do think that I'm not getting a taste of really what your substitute is because it's getting overpowered by all the different, the tomato, the red onion, the parsley, all that kind of stuff. So maybe I need to taste it on its own.
That might have been part of the strategy.
I wouldn't think it's meat if someone gave it to me, but it's still very tasty on its own. What is this? Carrot?
No.
Yeah, I know you like carrot in your things.
No, I've done that one time.
Beet?
No. I had it hidden here.
Nectarine?
Nectarine is a fruit
No.
and that would make no sense.
It looks like it has a little sweetness to it. It looks like potatoes, if anything. What is that if it's stacked like that?
Celery root.
Celery root again! It worked. This is better than last time. I didn't like it last time, did I?
No, because you don't like celery.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the hints of celery now come through.
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very minimal. This is very good. Okay, likeness to meat, very low. Even just looking at it, you know that's not meat. So in terms of likeness, as a substitute, 2 or 3
Okay.
out of 10. The overall dish, 8.4.
Wow.
8.4. Yes, it's very good, very tasty all around.
Thank you.
What a treat.
Yeah,
What a treat.
it is a treat. You're welcome, and thank you.
Yes. I love hummus.
Yeah,
I love you. Bye, everyone.
Wow, this is tripping me out. Hello everybody, what's going on? It is your girl Merle and we are back with another vegan substitute. So today we're gonna be making something I'm really excited for. We're gonna be making vegan lobster out of lobster mushrooms. Very aptly named. Apparently these lobster mushrooms are supposed to recreate the texture and even the smell and the flavor of actual lobster meat. I'm really excited for this one, so let's do it. So I've seen a lot of people recreating lobster with lobster mushrooms, and I've been wanting to try this recipe for so long. because I have always loved lobster and it looks pretty spot on. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is make like a little marinade for our lobster mushrooms. I'm using dehydrated lobster mushrooms because they're very seasonal, so it's hard to find them anyway, but especially if they're not in season, it's pretty much impossible. The bright side is there's hope if you can't find the fresh ones. I found these ones online and look at them. I mean, they look wild. Honestly, this looks like claw meat. I mean, it's dried, so it doesn't look like juicy and succulent yet, but soon, hopefully soon. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is to peel a lemon here. I've got a half of a lemon. I'm just gonna take two, like 3-inch peels. Oh, baby. There she goes. Okay. And just set these to the side. Okay, and then with that half lemon, you can go ahead and juice it. We want about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. All right, and now that you've got your 2 lemon peels, we're gonna go ahead and zest the rest. That's fun. And maybe you're wondering, why didn't you just peel the whole thing? Well, I'm happy that you asked. When you peel, you get a little bit of the white pith there, and that could be kind of bitter. And when you zest, you usually just get the bright, fruity flavor. Dun, 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 dun. Don't know why that's stuck in my head. Zested real good. You know, you expect there to be like a pile of zest underneath. It really doesn't yield very much. Put your lemon in your compost pile. I've got mine in the sink. I actually use my old lemon halves or whatever after I've juiced them to clean my sink. Google it, it's a thing. Okay, so we've got our zest in here. Got our lemon peels. So here I've got about 2.5 cups of water. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add in some apple cider vinegar, our lemon juice, some salt, organic sugar, lemon peels, and about 1/2 sheet of nori. And the nori is what is going to add the seafood flavor. All right, now I'm gonna turn this up to a medium-high heat and I'm gonna just stir it and watch it until the sugar completely dissolves. So it should take about 2 to 3 minutes. All right, the sugar is completely dissolved. So now I'm gonna turn that off. Only one thing left to do. Add in our dried lobster mushrooms. In you go, ready for your transformation. So this is gonna simultaneously rehydrate our dried mushrooms and infuse them with the flavor that we want. These are so beautiful. What a gorgeous color. I can totally see why they're named lobster mushrooms. I wanna make sure they're all fully coated. And now I'm gonna cover these up and take them off the heat and let this sit for about 60 minutes. While our mushrooms are rehydrating, we're going to make a little mayo mixture for them. So we're gonna start by adding some vegan mayo, lemon juice, our lemon zest, some white miso, salt and pepper, and some Old Bay or just seafood seasoning. You know, being plant-based, people are always like,
what's the one thing you miss the most?
it's lobster. I'm from New England. I'm from Massachusetts. We got good lobster there. So I'm gonna be a tough judge on this one. Mix up, mix up. And now we're gonna add some shallots, celery, and finally chives. And we're just gonna fold those into our mixture. Oh, it's bringing me right back. I really hope this is good. Mushrooms end up saving us in the end, don't they? They're just a magical, magical thing. All right, now I'm just gonna set this to the side. All right, so I'm heating up this pan over medium heat, and I've already gone ahead and drained, patted dry our rehydrated lobster mushrooms. Look at these things, they are so trippy. Seriously, the texture alone is giving me lobster vibes. All right, I've got 2 tablespoons of vegan butter, and now we're gonna put our mushrooms in. Whew, I'm getting excited. Now we just want to make sure our mushrooms are evenly coated in the butter. When you dry your lobster mushrooms, make sure if you see any like tough bits or end pieces, you just slice those right off and get rid of those. You don't want to be crunching into a tough end. I'm adding a little more butter because why not? I'm gonna take them off the heat and we're gonna let these cool off while we toast our buns. And then it's time to assemble. In my opinion, you don't have a great lobster roll unless you got a nice buttery toasted bun. And I know that might be a hot take amongst some of you. You New Englanders especially, you can do it however you want. That wasn't like passive aggressive, that was genuinely like you can do it however you want. I want to toast my buns. If you are vegan, make sure you are using vegan buns, otherwise you kind of defeat the purpose of the whole thing. So I'm gonna toss some more vegan butter in there, let that melt up real good, and then we're gonna go ahead and toast our bun, and that's pretty much it. Ooh, yeah, that's the golden brown I'm talking about. All right, so the mushrooms have cooled down, and now it's time to add our mayonnaise mixture to our mushrooms Wow, this is tripping me out. All right, these are all mixed up. Let's pop in the bun. We got our toasted buns. We got our lobster mayonnaise mixture. All that's left to do is assemble. The moment of truth here, everybody. Ah! I think I'm like the most excited and nervous for this one because I love lobster so much and miss it. I mean, this looks absolutely stunning. So let's do this thing. Oh my God. Woo! Oh my goodness gracious. Holy sh! I've been doing this for a while now. This is easily my favorite recipe I've done. I think if you gave this to a meat eater that was expecting lobster, I don't think it would fool them. Nothing can fully recreate that succulent, juicy tail meat from a lobster. But this is freaking close. And you know what's even cooler? The fresh lobster mushrooms actually have even more of a like lobster flavor, lobster smell to them. This is using dehydrated ones. So if you have access to fresh lobster mushrooms and you do this, I feel like it would be so spot on. Nobody's here to taste test this with me, so you just have to take my word for it. In likeness to lobster, an 8.5 out of 10. In likeness overall, like a 9.5. If you have a crazy ingredient you think would make for a good vegan substitute, let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. This has been a blast. I'm gonna go eat all of this now. Hot damn, that is good.